Not every sales activity is going to make your pipeline go up. In fact, I believe a lot of pipeline will go down with the wrong sales activity. And in this video, I want to use the opportunity to speak about 3 topics which I think are very important in this, which you're going to have to watch out for. And I'll give a little mindset bonus tip at the end, so make sure you stick around to the end. Why should you trust me when I'm speaking? My name is Henrik Kaiser. I'm a sales leader in the SaaS industry. I've been working in the area of sales for over 18 years, and I've seen different ways of approaching sales. And there's certain topics which come up and up again, and I think it's important to address this today, to share it. I make these videos for the people in my organization, and I put them publicly so everybody can watch them and get inspired from them. So if you think this is relevant, make sure that you smash the subscribe button, leave me a follow and a like, or comment something in the section below. And if you think it's really relevant, then do me the favor and share it with somebody who you think would find value in what I'm going to talk about today, which is how to fix your pipeline and get more sales ultimately. So let's turn to point number 1, which is you have to do your homework. I mean, it sounds so obvious, right? You have to do your homework. And this means you have to do your research. I used to have this guy in my team. He used to be Mr. Charming, on the phone, laughing the whole time. When we went to trade shows, he used to be in contact with everybody. Everybody loved him, but he just was not selling. And the question was really, why was he not selling? And I didn't understand it because he had everything going for him. He had the highest activity. I thought he was doing everything correctly, but I just did not understand it. So I had a conversation with the VP at the time about this. And he said, Henry, you're going to have to listen into the phone calls, what he's talking about, and understand and dig deep. So I have this with me. I sat down next to him with these call splitters. I don't know if you know this. This shows how old I am. But we used to be on the telephone. I used to listen in, and the other people could talk and listen at the same time. I used to take notes, and I went back to the VP, and we sat down and started evaluating what he was talking about. And it came out that he just did not have the right topics. So he just did not have the guidance of where to go. He wasn't relevant. And this really stood out. So he just failed to address the right topics. And that is the impact. If you're not having the right conversations, there's no point in having the conversation. At the end of the day, this is a job. We're here to sell. And what we had to do is create a framework where we really had to work out what it is. I'm sure your company is giving you a book of business, a territory list, and a list of customers, and said, there's always a reason to call. Call these people. There's a telephone number. They all want to buy a product. Well, actually, you need to have to sit down and understand, what is the competitor pitching? What is the language of your industry which you're selling to? What words are they using? What are they searching on the internet for? Which blogs are they reading? You have to dig deep. You need to do the homework. You need to understand what the topic, what the potential pain is, to actually have a good conversation, which are meaningful, which will go in the right direction. And if you fail to do this, you're going to have the wrong conversations like the person in my team did, and you're not going to sell. Point number 2, positioning. I had this guy, let's just call him Tom. And I'm sure you can relate to this because most people have a company pitch, which everybody needs to learn off by heart. And we had that too. So I made sure everybody did the pitch, and it was great. And we started talking, Tom and I, and we came to the conclusion that maybe the reason why we didn't sell any products, and at the time it was cloud computing, was because we were addressing the admins and the people working in the data centers, telling them how little administration you're going to need, how super simple it was going to be to run these data centers because you could just reduce the workforce. And pretty much we told these people they're not going to have a job if they work with us, which is completely idiotic, but it just shows that although it's the truth and the right message that you're probably pitching AI to everybody. If you're pitching AI, you need to understand the frame from which these people are viewing the world and are perceiving it. So we were telling these people in the data centers that it's going to be very difficult in the future because everything's moving to the cloud and we just can't get through. If you're pitching to the wrong people or even the right people, but you don't have the right brain, the right positioning, you're going to run into a problem. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to know exactly what your product does, and you're going to have to know exactly who your product is for. And if you can differentiate between these two and you can be exact about it, then you know who it is for, address these people. And if you're way in, let's say in my case, it was with the admins, you're going to have to take them on that journey where you can explain to them how it's going to be beneficial for them, how they're not going to lose their job, but they're going to buy new perspectives and really, everybody's in the cloud now. You know what I mean? It's like, there's so much opportunity out there, but you're going to have to take people on that journey. And if you're having the wrong conversation because you don't know what your product does exactly, and you don't know exactly who your product is for and how to bring those together, you're going to have a problem. Now, let's talk about topic number 3, which is the big idea. When you were a child, I'm sure you played this. I have 2 daughters, so I know this is true. They play catch. And if you're playing catch with a lot of people, you catch one child at a time. Or the kids, they run out there. Who is the easiest target? Who can I get to and catch them? So they run out, they look for the smallest child or whoever runs the slowest or whoever is the closest. They catch that person. They're not allowed to move anymore. And they find the next target and go to that. And it's no difference in sales. You're going to have to understand it's like a game of catch, one target at a time. And every target is the big idea. You need one topic which you want to conclude. You need to follow one idea. Otherwise, you're not going to be remembered. And if you're irrelevant because you were pitching too many ideas, then you run the risk of the slippery road of irrelevant brilliance, which is just completely ridiculous because the brilliance really comes from one idea, putting it out there, pushing towards it, capturing the person, and then step by step, you can unfold all the possibilities of value. You can bring in different stakeholders, but that is something which comes afterwards because you need to build that trust. You need to be identifiable as one. So your to-do here is really to think about it. If the person I'm speaking with today is turning around in the office, what are they going to tell them, the person sitting next to them? Or if you're speaking to somebody who is remote or on the go, if that person gets to the hotel room or goes back home at night, what are they going to think about when I think of you in that conversation? What is that one thing? And then you need to tap into it and keep going with it. Now, the one idea at a time is obviously, I think, one of the most important because a lot of people are trying to go out and sell functions and features, and you really want to try to bring it down to the value conversation. So where's the value that you can bring? And then the facets can all come later. Speaking of value, if you find this relevant and you've enjoyed this, what I've been telling you so far, then please smash that subscribe button. And the biggest thing in the world for me, if you share it with somebody who you think can learn from these things and just find this interesting as well, because that's how we grow and the relevance of me sharing these things for my team, my organization, and you guys out there on YouTube. Now, there's one more video which I want to point out. Is up here. If you click it, it's about the 5 things which I think make a salesperson successful, like the key factors. And I hope you check that one out as well after this one before I give you the bonus tip, which is the mindset question. And the mindset question really is that you need to understand you're not selling to a standing army. You're selling to a marching parade. And what that means, let me give you a story to illustrate that. If you are selling small apartments in the city, then that is a fantastic market. Your market is probably that you're addressing young urban professionals, you're selling them small apartments, and they're super happy and it's great. And because you know sales and networking, you try to keep the relationship going so that you can upsell them in the future with another apartment. But the truth is, these people are probably not going to buy another small apartment. These people are going to build a family, move together with somebody else, move outside of the city. People change, and that is completely okay. But then small apartments is not the market for these people anymore. So you're going to have to, if you're selling small apartments, you're always going to have to watch out that you find the right market, and that is young professionals moving into the city at that time. And you need to address those, and you need to find those, and you need to go. I know it's tough. There's can be a lot of external factors coming your way why it may not be easy to sell. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to understand the market is changing and there's always new opportunities coming, but they're probably not on the qualities that you have today from the company that you were created what I told you at the beginning. So do your research, do your homework at the beginning, your research, understand your positioning, concentrate on the one big idea, and remember, your pipeline is not filled with all the contacts and the people you've talked to a million times before. Find new people to talk to. And I just want to say thank you. I've enjoyed this talking to you. Thank you so much. With that said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.